Gordon, I want to look a little at the domestic situation in China right now. We just heard Xi Jinping basically call for, I think he called it a return to a culture of marriage and childbearing, in essence, trying to, I suppose, increase fertility rates, but at the expense of women going into the workforce. You're a longtime observer of China. What do you make of that?
I think there's a certain amount of panic at the top levels of the Communist Party about demography. There's a lot of happy talk, but once you start looking at the projections, China, which is about 1.4 billion people now, could end the century at about maybe 450, maybe 500 million people. That would be the steepest decline in demography in history in the absence of war or disease. We just don't know how China is going to handle it. You know, the Communist Party can talk about, trying to urge women to leave the workforce. They're now also talking about, well, we need to end excessive wedding ceremonies. I mean, this is sort of ridiculous. There's a problem in China. Part of it is, of course, as a society develops economically, fertility declines. That's what we've seen everywhere, especially in East Asia. But China has some additional problems, and that is that there's a sense of gloom about the country internally. And we know that from every society that goes through periods of pessimism, especially ones as deep as China's, that couples don't reproduce. So that's the issue. And there's one other factor, and that is for about 4 decades, China's one-child policy was relentlessly propagandized. And that has created in people's minds, just in general, even apart from pessimism, even apart from everything else, that's created a view in people's minds that fewer children are better. And now you have women just opting out of the Confucian sort of mores of China, and they've just said, look, we're done with this. And of course, women have done that in South Korea, they've done that in Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore. So that's nothing new to China. But you put all that stuff together, and China is on the edge of a demographic crisis. And I think Xi Jinping is starting to understand that.